Roy just brought this hardwood floorboard out to me to show me the mold that's underneath the this one floorboard as a sample. He theorizes that in order for that to grow, I guess you can see the height of it, to grow like that from the hardwood floor to the subfloor, that's the space between the hardwood floor and the subfloor that was existing, and the only thing keeping the floor together is the hardwood. That the subfloor went ahead and moved back or dropped down anywhere from a quarter of an inch to probably a half inch there. Hi, John Flanagan here. I'm asking Roy, my contractor, to come in and tell us what he's found here in the living room at 334 University Drive, and how far he and his helper, or his partner Steve, have come this morning. They moved all of the furniture out into the garage, moved it outside around the house to the garage area.
Okay, so far we tore up half the flooring. As you can see, we have holes in the floor. You can see how soft it is. So it's a little bit deeper than we expected from the view from underneath of the video you got first. And you can see when I step, the subfloor is pretty much done. There's mold issues that are on top of it. So you can see the different colors, and white, gray, and black, which leads me to believe that there could be other issues behind the water system there. We may need to eventually, take like your company said, a meter issue on whether the walls are moist or not. But my personal opinion, I'm going to cut a hole in the wall and see if there's any mold in there, due to the fact that you can't meter test it and tell whether there's mold in there. So I'm going to do that later. And the way it's looking, I figured 4 sheets of plywood to repair the spots that I videoed before. And this whole room is going to take anywhere from 10 to 12 sheets to repair it. And I'm just going to refigure that that's what we're going to do, because once we get to where the leak is actually over there behind John, and it flowed all the way through here, that tells me where John is actually videoing from right now is probably even weaker than what we're standing on here. Then we're going to need some supports to tie this room back into that room and in the 2 hallway areas. So, that'd be extra materials there, and then you got to figure on time and effort. And what worries me is if the floor is this bad, the joists look fine from underneath, but we won't know until we get the subfloor tore up tomorrow and actually can, test them with a little bit of pressure to see if they're still good or not. So that's where we're at right now, and if it does come to where some of the joists are bad, then we're going to either have to have someone take out the water system, just remove it so I can run my subflooring all the way to the exterior walls with new supports on the outside, and then we'll just have to weld it back in together, because as of now the water system's turned off, so that's not that big a deal, but that needs to be addressed too, because when I take out the subfloor, we got to go all the way out to the outside wall. And so that means I can run new plywood, put a sealer down, run new plywood all the way across, and make sure everything's tied back tight together to where we don't end up with that again. So, we're gonna have to do some readjusting and figures on money, but I'm not gonna tear all the floor out and then stop. I'm just gonna keep going, and me and John and you will have to figure out the best way to handle the claim. But once I get started, I can't stop, especially once I tear the floor out.
Roy just bought this hardwood floorboard out to me to show me the mold that's underneath the this one floorboard as a sample. He theorizes that in order for that to grow, I guess you can see the height of it, to grow like that from the hardwood floor to the subfloor, that's the space between the hardwood floor and the subfloor that was existing, and the only thing keeping the floor together is the hardwood. That the subfloor went ahead and moved back or dropped down anywhere from a quarter of an inch to probably a half inch there.